Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Welcome to Faux Pods with Lola. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you're new, if you've never been here before. Podcast formats with none of the actual podcasting business, just me talking about some stuff. Thanks for coming. So yeah, trying to get better about being conversational with like the questions that I ask you guys or things like that. So bear with me. I'm just such a theater kid. I feel like I have to rehearse it, and then like I have to. Anyway, do you like my little kerchief? It's a good summer tip that I'm not telling you at the end of the summer, but September is the hottest month where I'm at. So fun tip, if you dip this in water and squeeze it out really good so it's not like running water all over you, keeps you nice and cool in the hot sun if you still have that going on. You're welcome. We're going to talk today about can you guess what we're going to talk about? I bet you know from the title. I may have had too much coffee. In the same way that after about 5 times of seeing a McDonald's commercial, you suddenly want whatever they're advertising, you can use the same subliminal influence for your own highest good. The concept of marketing in that way is nothing new, right? It's since the beginning of people trying to sell other people's stuff. It's psychological tactics, basically, that for better or worse work really well on human beings. So of course, in the same vein, vision boards, which I believe Oprah kind of popularized that whole thing, or at least she brought it to the foreground and people like started realizing that you can use a vision board the same way that McDonald's ad works, in that you can present information to your subconscious that just kind of absorbs, and after a while you incorporate it into your daily life. It's just a way to condition your peripheral awareness and acquire things that you want or need in your life. It works the same if you were to write the phrase "I am strong," which is a good one. I am strong, and you put it on your mirror. By the virtue of seeing that every day, and even if you don't read it every day, you know what it says. So every time you're vaguely aware of it, your mind remembers that I'm strong. After a while, you won't doubt your strength anymore. It's just a way to reinforce things that you want to remember or to be better about. For about 15 years, I've been actively making, I call them vision posters or creation posters or whatever rolls off the tongue. But before that, I was putting collages on my wall, like magazine cutouts. Collage art is kind of how is one of my favorite art forms anyway. I was doing that and kind of incorporating phrases and things like that appealed to me, that were kind of like my goal. I wrote on my cork board, I had this really big cork board on my wall, and I wrote "Hollywood, here I come" when I was like, I want to say like 12. And then fast forward to my early 20s and I was there. That one took particularly a long time, but it still came to pass. It's just another way to reaffirm what you want and to kind of claim it to the universe and to make sure that you're headed in that direction using all of your faculties. I put something on my wall, and it does take a buffer of time. We live in a time-space reality, so if we could manifest things instantly, life would be kind of boring and we'd have a lot of throwaway things at the end of the day, because sometimes with the buffer of time, you realize you don't even really want what you got or what you have. You don't even want the thing that you really, really, really wanted, give it a month or give it a week or a few days. Maybe you're just like, I guess I could do without that, or, well, I found something else I want, or whatever. So the buffer of time actually works in your favor, if you let it, that is. There aren't any shortcuts, but it's worth it to gradually ease into something that you really want, especially if the concept that you're putting into your vision board or vision poster is something that will take time. You don't want to jump headlong into an idea and have it happen quicker than you can process it. That's, it defeats the purpose, right? So without further ado, I'll show you my latest one that I've had up for about probably like 5 months, 5-6 months. I have phrases, I have just kind of beautiful pictures and beautiful scenery. I like to take things that are visually appealing. In no way do you have to do it as complicated or as multifaceted as this one. This is the way that I prefer to do it, so that it's also it's art. You know, it's not just something like a few cutouts on a piece of paper that you don't even really want to look at. It's something that draws you in visually and something that reaffirms at the same time, right? So I was working on letting go of past entanglements and past patterns. So at the top, I have breathe in, and it has all of the positive things that I want to attract. So you have teamwork and love and happiness and, you know, moving on. And then on this side, we have breathe out, and we have, you could say we have drama, depression, and survival. These are always going to be a part of my life. There's never going to be a time where I don't have the more, you know, I guess you could say negative. I'm always going to have that. But the positive side doesn't have to suffer for the negative side. And I think that was the point with this one in particular. Reaffirming that I can breathe in the good stuff, breathe out the bad stuff. Getting used to things the way that they are, getting used to the way that I am, accepting myself, but also striving to be better. So that's like the main thing that I use vision boards for. Is it's more of a concept. It's more of a imagery that supports a concept. It's not a big flashy red Porsche and, you know, $1 million and, you know, anything like that. If that's your goal, that's totally fine. Like whatever you want. But I do know that if you work on the inner stuff that keeps holding you back, the outer external stuff will follow. You don't have to work really hard at having, you know, a Porsche or $1 million. If you work on releasing the stuff that's keeping you from receiving that or attracting that into your life. Material stuff is good. It's awesome. There's nothing wrong with it. It's also, like I said, it'll change. What you want as far as like manifestations, it'll always be changing. The betterment that you are seeking, that will only help you be better in the things that you're asking for, if that makes sense. And what's cool is that you'll start seeing this stuff showing up. Everything that you include will show up. So I went to the tide pools, like this type of stuff right here. I went to the tide pools this summer with my girls, and it shows, like, if you can see it, there's like a person. There's like a person walking like away from the negative stuff and towards the positive stuff. I feel like I've been definitely doing that. I've definitely been walking down my path with more confidence and been walking taller and stronger in who I am. We have right here, it says the no rules era. I have seen many examples, a lot lately actually, which is interesting. Many synchronicities kind of echoing back to me that you don't have rules. Like the rules that you have are all in your head. They're all in all of our heads. So I see echoes of all of the things that I put right here. It takes a minute. It takes a buffer of time, but that doesn't mean that it's not coming to you. If you hang on to things and just kind of let them unfold, just kind of put them on the back burner, put an intention out, put a, whatever it is, and just kind of be chill about it instead of kind of obsessive about it, it will come to you faster, and it will also just be this fun experiment that you do with yourself, as opposed to, instead of it being like a homework assignment that you never feel like you did a good job on. I use the magazine cutouts, like I said, more of a collage art vibe. You can use whatever you want, though. There's no wrong way. You can actually write down the words that you want and kind of decorate those words, make them fun colors, glitter or something like that if you want. I'm a very visual person, so I like to have the whole poster be representative of things. You can put one word, happy, and give yourself a little time and you will start being happier. But whatever it is, just make sure that it serves you. It's something that makes sense for you, that's positive, and that's appealing. That way, if nothing else, you have something pretty to hang up. You have something pretty to look at, which is, it is part of the fun, I will say, and especially in this day and age, who doesn't want something that you can look at and instantly just feel better? It works in a lot of ways, manyfold. If you do end up doing collage art, a good place to get a bunch of magazines of a wide variety, so that you have, like cooking magazines, money magazines, architectural magazines, so the visuals that you will see in there are varied and cover a lot of different topics, is the library. Your local library has a huge stash of, like I said, periodicals that they get rid of. Ours sells them for 10 cents a piece. Sometimes they go up to 25 cents, but even that, like 4 magazines for $1, you spend $5, you have a crop of magazines that you can use over and over and over again. Not only that, you're also supporting a very, very noble and helpful institution, in my opinion. Libraries help communities that, you know, or individuals that don't have their own computers in their house, that don't have resources or guidance school-wise. There's, you know, after-school programs that libraries offer. Even if you don't end up doing the collage art, just going there and having a quiet space to reflect on things or to get work done or whatever. So I highly recommend it. It's just a win-win kind of hobby or fun thing. It's a way to support yourself, just you. Reaffirm and support yourself in your goals and your dreams and your needs and your wants. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't any of us? It's a great way to do it. And this is a helpful tip too. And I usually just I flip through the pages, and if I see a phrase or an image or a color feels right, I take it and I incorporate it. Once you start gluing them down, I say whatever is on this creation poster is. Sit with it for a second, I give it good extra energy, and then I glue it down. That actually comes from one of the Abraham Hicks exercises from Ask and It Is Given. In that exercise, it's the creation tin, which is certainly another way to do it. If you don't want to display your wants and needs and your heart's desires for people to see, which is totally fine. I have done both ways. I've done several different ways. There's many ways to do it. If that appeals to you more, then it's the same thing. You say whatever's in this creation tin is, and you drop it in, and you just forget about it and put it up in your closet or whatever. So again, it's another way to see your own magic, your own capabilities as a human being. If you try it one way and it doesn't feel quite right or whatever, just switch it up. Keep playing with it till you find something that works for you. Put your own personal spin on it. That's how we do. It's kind of like starting a ripple on a lake. The touchdown and the actual impact of it is going to get bigger as it expands, get bigger as it grows. So it's the same type of thing. When you first put up your creation poster, it's not going to be an avalanche of stuff that you want, but you will notice the momentum of it growing as, you know, as the idea, as the concept, as you look at it, as you feel it, you know, it'll grow over time. The less important stuff, like the small stuff, tends to show up quicker. We tend to have more resistance towards big things. That's why if you put, you know, say you want a pack of gum, for whatever reason, put a pack of gum on your creation board or in your creation tin, and then you also put, you know, $1 million mansion, your $1 million mansion's going to take a little bit longer than the pack of gum, right? You could just go out and buy a pack of gum at any point. And so putting it on there, it's more about the specific kind of gum. The more specific you are with the things, the more specific they will be when they come to you. There was a friend of mine that said, a friend of his, which is, you know, it's like urban legends, like a friend of a friend said this, but I believe it. I mean, I've seen it in my own, you know, my own experience, but outside of my own experience, I've heard it working this way as well. This guy had a picture of a house, just like, you know, one that looked like and sort of was in the same vein as one that he wanted. And a year later, he was getting that exact house. So I don't know how that worked. I guess he had a picture he just printed from the internet of like a realty site or something, or maybe, I don't know. That's the magic of the universe. It's the exact house that he had put on his vision board. You know, the more specific you are, the more specific your results will be. And it seems stressful, like, oh no, what if I put the wrong thing on there? But it's, like I said, just play with it, start small, and work your way up. Let your imagination run wild and your intuition guide you. Like, you can never go wrong with those two things. That's what I got for you this week. But let me know how it works out for you. Give it a go, you know, or any of the other concepts that I've brought up. I'm always happy to hear how they land and how, you know, how it ends up being for you. Or if you have your own way of doing it that's different than I discussed, let me know in the thing, in the little box where you talk to me, the talkie box. Use the talkie box and the notification group. And make up words all the time. I love you all very much. And so today, I am on a good one today. So thank you. And hit like, hit subscribe, talkie box if you want to give me a talkie. Thank you. I will speak to you guys soon. Have a wonderful week.